Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. From today we are going to learn JavaScript. To learn JavaScript, we need to run JavaScript in the browser. So we need a browser. So you can actually go with Microsoft Edge and then Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Okay, any of them you actually like most, you can go with. And now you need a code editor, so you can either use Sublime Text, either use Visual Studio Code. So if you want to download Sublime Text, you can actually go through Sublime Text download, or you can actually search here Sublime Text, and here you can see download option. Go here and download the Windows version if you are Windows user. Okay, and then we have Visual Studio Code. I will recommend you to use Visual Studio Code. Okay, so Visual Studio Code, just have to download it. Go for the download and click here Windows, and it will actually start downloading. Here you can see it start downloading. Okay, all right, here you can see I have downloaded it. Now let's go for the installation. So installation done. Now let's click on the finish. So this is the interface. Now let's go to the extension here. If I hover here, you can see extension, and I just have to install live server. So live server, so we just have to install it. Okay, click on install, and here you can see installed. All right, so we are done. Now we will create a folder. Okay, so I will say open folder, and I will go to the targeted destination here, and I want to actually say let's say JavaScript. Okay, script. I want to add this folder, so add. Here you can see JavaScript folder. Now I want to create JavaScript file, our first JavaScript file. Okay, and let's create. So the extension .js actually define that it's a JavaScript file. Okay, and now I need a HTML file, so I will say index.html. Here I'm going to say exclamation sign, then press tab. In the body I have to say script, not here really. Let's go here, I will say script. So here I just have to say source, and I just have to give the source, that is index.js, right? Because we're in the same file, I mean same folder, right? If our JS in the different folder, we have to mention the folder at first, right? Folder and then slash, then the file name. But we are in the same folder, so we don't need to mention the folder name. We just have to give here the file name. That's it. Now let's change here something. So actually I'm going to go for the live. So to see your output, I mean to see the output of from the from the JavaScript file, you just have to go to the browser and your HTML file. Okay, and then go for the inspect option. Here you have to go for the console. So here is the console. So let me go here. So this is the console, right? Okay, now let's say I want to say here console dot log hello JavaScript, and here you can see the output hello JavaScript. Okay, all right, so this is how actually you can write JavaScript. So thank you so much for watching. That's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about variables in JavaScript. So let's create a new file, variables. All right, so here you can see I'm in variable.js. so here let's say I want to declare a variable. So variables are actually to store values in something. Okay, so that is called variable. Let's say I have x, so if I say x equal to 5, so x would be the variable for this value. Okay, so we have a different type of variable, and let's say we have int, we for the integer, right? We have integer, we have string, we have float, we have boolean. Okay, boolean means true false. We have integer means 1 2 3 4 5, any integer number. We have a string like any name or a collection of character. Okay, so in JavaScript, if you want to declare any variable, you can actually do it in multiple way. You have var. Okay, you can actually define with var. Okay, let's say 3, so the variable, so you have to use var at first, then variable name, and then value, and then semicolon. On the other hand, you can do let y is equal to 4. Okay, And if I say console.log, okay, and if I print x here, you can see we have here 3, right? Okay. And if I say console.log y, what will happen here? Now you can see value is 4. It means that you can actually define variable like with var and with let. So why we need var and why we need let? So if you want to support your code for the old browser, you can use var, but for the latest browser you can use let. Okay, so we will actually do using let. You can use constant also, like this const, but if you use const you can actually change the value. Let's say 5. Okay, so if I say here x, you can see the value is 5. All right, but the problem is I cannot actually change the value here. Let's say x is equal to 7. I can change it, and here you can see error, right? Type error. So when you set constant, you can actually you cannot change the value. Okay, but here you can see I can change the value of y. Let's say y is equal to 7, and if I use here semicolon, and if I say here y, okay, and here you can see the value is 7. And let's say I want to know the variable type. So how can I do this? I can say here type of, and I can mention the variable name, that is y, and here you can see this is number. Let's say I want to declare a string. So how you can declare a string? Let, let's say name, so is equal to, I can say here that web tech knowledge. All right, and if I say name, here you can see a string. Okay, this is a type of string. So if I say I want to print here name, let's say, so here you can see web tech knowledge. These are actually you can declare variable. Variable can we don't need to actually mention here int, string, or character, or float like other programming language, right? So we just have to mention here let and the variable name. Let's say I want to know the CGPA of a student. So here if I say 3 let's say 21, and if I want to mention here CGPA, so CGPA, and here you can see 3.21, and if I know the type, so I say type of CGPA, and here you can see number. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about JavaScript arithmetic operators. So to do this, I'm going to create a new JavaScript file. So I will say arithmetic.js. What are arithmetic operator? Here plus, minus, into, division, modulus, increment, decrement. Okay, so these are arithmetic operators. So now let's start one by one. So first of all, I need to declare a variable. Let's say I want to say number. Okay, first number, let's say I want to say 21. If so now let's say I want to set another variable, and that is, let's say number 2 is equal to 22. So now let's say I want to do additions. I will say console dot log. I want to say here actually I want to set here one more variable, that is for the results. I will say result, I'll say number 1 plus number 2, and I want to show the result here. Copy, paste, and here you can see what is the problem. Okay, so home.html, we have to mention this JavaScript file. So that is arithmetic.js, right? Now it's showing actually here 43, right? Okay, so console.log, when I fetch the, print the result, here you can see 43, right? 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 2 4. Okay, 43. Now let's go for the another arithmetic operator, and that is negative sign for the minus. And here you can see the minus value, because the first one is 21, the second one is 22. It's bigger than the first one, right? So it's showing us -1. Here if I say 25, here you can see 3. All right, so now let's go for the multiplication. So let's use this sign. The result is 550, right? If I go for the division, let's say this is 10 and this is 5. All right, so we'll now divide 10 by 5. So I will say division sign, and here you can see the result will be 2. All right, and let's go for the modulus. So here the modulus value will be 0 because we haven't actually I mean, when I say 5 into 2 is 10, so 10 minus 10 equal to 0, so the result will be 0, right? Okay, now let's say I want to say here 4, and the next value is let's say result is equal to number plus plus. If I say like this, here you can see the value will be okay, let me just say it here, say here number plus plus, and here I'm going to show the number, and now we will find number is 5. Why? Because now 4 here the value will be 5. All right, because it will actually increment by 1. Plus plus means it will actually increment by 1. Okay, and we can actually do this in different way, and number value will be 3. Here you can see 3, number value will be 3, right? All right, and now let's go for the square value. Let's say I have 4 here. If I say number I want to find the square value of 4, so if I say it like this, here you can see 4 square is equal to 16, right? These are actually called arithmetic operators. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about data types in JavaScript. So we have 8 different data types in JavaScript. Here you can see I have created data types.js, and in index.html I have actually import it, source it. Okay, data types.js. So you have to do this, and now I want to run it in console. So here you can see now I'm in console. So here you can see I have comment out it. So this is the way actually you can comment out /. Okay, 8 different data types in JavaScript. So we have a string. First of all, we have a string. Okay, we have a string, then we have number, then we have big int, we have boolean, we have undefined, we have object. First of all, string, so we can actually let let's say name, and I can say here like this, let's say web tech knowledge, and let's say I want to print it, so I will say console.log name. I say like this, here you can see web tech knowledge, right? Then we have number, we know any kind of number, let's say let number, so we can actually give here decimal value also, we can give here integer value also, doesn't matter. So here if I say number, here you can see 3. If I say 3.20, you can see 3.2. all right, and then we have boolean, right? So I can say here yes is equal to true. All right, and I can say let no is equal to false. So if I say yes, it will show me true. If I say no, it will show me false. Now let's go for the objects. I will say const, let's say full name. I want to know the full name, let's say. So I will say here curly braces opening and closing, and here I want to say, let's say first name, I can say here, let's say Yamin, and comma second name, let's say Yamin. Okay, Yamin, I can say like this, sorry. All right, so now I want to show it, so I will say full name. Here you can see first name Yamin, second name Yamin, right? So I can create object like this, and I can actually create array object also. So like this, const, let's say full underscore name equal to like array. I can say here first name, let's say Yamin, or I can say here let's say Tanvir, and the second name, let's say Ahmed. If I say here full name, here you can see Tanvir Ahmed. So you can actually create object like this. Because of JavaScript has dynamic types, you don't need to declare the variable type at first. You can actually change the value to any type. Let's say here my number is integer, right? Number. Okay, here you can see let's say I want to set here value. So the value is 3.20, right? So I can actually change the value to string. So the value is now number, right? Here number, type is number, but here I can change the value to string. I will say 3.20, and if I want to print the value, here you can see 3.20, right? 3.20. All right, so we can actually declare it first, and then we can change a value anytime. So these are actually type, okay? So you don't have to declare the type at first. You can actually change the value also, right? Here you can see I have changed the value. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how to take user input in JavaScript. So to do this, I'm going to create a new JavaScript file. So I will say user input, okay, .js, and I want to import this user input.js in the index. So here I have to actually mention here in the source that, okay, my JavaScript file name is user input, right? Okay, so this one, and I have imported. Now I can actually change here any name. Okay, so I will say console.log, I will say user input. Okay, so user input. All right, so I haven't actually taken any user input, so I will go here. I will say user input is equal to, so we can actually take user input in two different way. So the easiest way is window prompt. We can say actually window window, okay, window dot prompt, and here I will say enter your name. All right, I can say it like this, and here you can see enter your name, and we have a prompt, right? So we can actually say here, let's say Tanvir, okay, and here you can see the output Tanvir. Okay, so this is the input, right? User input. So this is the first way, so the easiest way. Okay, so I can actually call it easy way to take user input. But what about the professional way? So we have a professional way. Okay, let's do this. And here, to do it in professional way, we have to go to the index.html, and here let's say I want to say here h1 that welcome to my site. So here let's say I want to say input type, let's say, okay, text, no problem, and I want to give here ID, let's say, so I will say name. Okay, the ID is name, and I need a button for the submit button. So actually I can go to the user input, and actually I want to make it comment. Okay, so go here, refresh. Okay, now in the index, here you can see I have to right here input, I mean, so now if I do it like this, and here you can see welcome to my site, and we have input here, right? And here I want to add a button for the submit, so I will say button, and here I want to say submit, and here you can see submit button. So I want to give here ID, let's say submit, ID name is also submit, right? Okay, now okay, I can actually use here placeholder, so I will say placeholder, enter your name here. I will go view what wrap. Okay, so enter your name here, and here you can see the dummy text, okay, name here. All right, so we have ID, so we can actually go to the user input.js, and here actually I want to do the professional way. So that is, I will say here document.getElement by ID. So the ID name is, in the HTML you can see the ID name is name, right? Okay, so I want to copy the ID name here, and I want to paste it here. Here I want to say dot on click equal to, I want to mention here a function, and here I want to say document dot get element by ID get element by id. Okay, so here not name, actually we will actually click on button, right? Submit button. So id is submit, so we have to give here submit. Okay, submit, and here I will say document dot get element by id, and here the id will be the name of the text field. I mean, I want to actually get the value. Okay, so here we have a name here. Okay, so for the text field, okay, the input field name is name, so I have to get the name here. I mean the id here. Okay, input field id name is name, right? So I need to know the id, so the id name is name, and I need to know the value, so I will say value, and I have to give here a semicolon. But I want to keep the result inside a variable, so I will declare a variable here, and that is user input. Okay, so I need to say here let user input, so let user input, and I want to say here user input is equal to it. Okay, let's say I want to cut it from here, I want to paste it here. Okay, now let's say I want to say here Tanvir submit, and here you can see the value, right? Okay, so this is the professional way. And now let's say I don't want to show it in the log, I mean console, I want to show it here. I want to replace this text, okay, with the name. So welcome to my site, and I will actually say here that your name will be here. Your name is, okay, is, all right. So I want to actually show here, so I want to actually give here a id, so id is equal to replace, or I can say new name. Okay, and here I want to say that, okay, I actually don't want to show it in console, I want to replace the text, so I can say here document dot get element, get element by id. Here I want to mention the id at first, so let's go and find the id. Id is new name, so copy it and paste it here. Dot text content is equal to user input. Okay, now I want to remove the console, and let's say I want to say here Tanvir Ahmed, and here you can see Tanvir Ahmed. So this is the two way, the professional way and the easiest way. Okay, so that's it. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about type conversion in JavaScript. So how to actually change the type. So here if I say a variable let's say number, or I can actually say input, I'll say Windows, okay, dot prompt, and let's say I want to say here, and what will happen? So now let's say I want to say here input is equal to input plus 1. So what can I say? Input plus equal to 1. Okay, so it will actually increment by 1. So here I want to console dot log, I want to say the input, and let's say I want to say here 25. Okay, what is happening here? Now let's say I want to say here 25. Okay, and here you can see 25 plus 1 should be 26, right? But here you can see it's showing 25. If I say here you can see 25 1, the input value was string, right? So we need to change the type of this string. If I say here let's say type of input, what will happen if I say sorry, not like this. Okay, so what will happen if I say here 25? Okay, and here you can see this is type is string, right? So we need to convert it. I mean, we need to do type conversion, right? I have to say here that, okay, the input is equal to I will say number, I will convert it to number. Okay, so here I'm going to say 25. Still it's showing like this. Okay, no problem, I will say 25. Now you can see 26, and here number. Okay, the type is now number. Okay, so I have to actually typecast it. This is called type conversion. Let's refresh it once again. If I say Yamin, what will happen? And it will say NaN. It means not a number. And here you can see type is the number. Now let's say I want to say one more input. So I will say input here. Let's say I want to make it, comment out it, and I want to say input is equal to boolean. Okay, I want to convert the input type as boolean. So I want to show the input here. Now let's say I want to refresh it once again, and here I want to say 0, so it will actually reply me false. If I refresh it once again, and if I say here 0, so now you can see the value is boolean, right? If I say 1, here you can see true. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about functions in JavaScript. So how to define, how to write functions in JavaScript. So for this I'm going to create a new file, JavaScript file, and that is functions.js. And I want to access the functions.js in the script. Here I will say functions.js, and now okay, I want to say here function. Okay, so declare a function. You have to write function at first, and then any name. Let's say calculation. Okay, and like this. And here let's say I want to pass two parameter. So the first parameter A and the second parameter is B. All right, and I want to return the parameter A. Let's say, okay, actually I can say here, let's say addition at first, addition. So A plus B, right? Let's go create another function, subtraction. Here I'm going to say A comma B, and I'm going to say return A minus B. Let's go for the new function. So you have to declare function like this, function, then multiplication. Let's say multiplication. Here I need to pass two parameter. Okay, and I want to return A into B. All right, I need one more function. Let's say function division. And here I need to say A comma B as parameter, and here I want to say return A divided by B. And this is how actually you can define or declare function in JavaScript. Now let's say how can you actually access, how can you call the function? So to call a function, I'll say let a variable. Let's say I'll say add, and here I'll call the function that is addition. So I'll say addition, and here I'm going to actually pass here two value 4 comma 2. So the 4 plus 2 will be 6, but I need to show it. So I will say console dot log. I want to show in the console, so I will say console dot log will be, let's say add. All right, and here you can see 6. Okay, so let's say I want to show it prompt at first. So I will say, not prompt, actually I'm going to say that okay, the value is okay, so the text. So to do this you have to say backtick, and to give a backtick from your keyboard, from the very left side on the top of the tab, okay, tab key, you will find this this sign. Okay, and here let's say I want to say value is add. Okay, and I want to say let's say comma here. Okay, and here you can see value is 6, and every single time let's say I want to say here one more value variable, so that is, let's say sub. So for the sub I will say subtraction, and here I need to pass two variable. So let's say I want to pass here 4 comma 2 once again, so the result will be 2. Let's say I want to show here console dot, and here I want to say sub, and here you can see the value is 2. Okay, and let's go for the addition. So multiplication, I will say mult, and here I will say the function multiplication. Okay, And here I want to paste one more time the value, so I will say value is mult, M-U-L-T, mult, and here you can see 8. So this is actually you can print everything. So we have a division, let's print it, no problem. I'm going to print it, so I will say value is, let's say, div, and here I'm going to create one more variable, that is let div is equal to division. Here I'm going to pass 10 comma 5, and I want to say like this. So 10 divided by 5 will be 2, right? Okay, so this is actually you can define function, you can declare function, you can actually execute function, and you can actually call the function like this. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about JavaScript object. So let's create a new file here, object in js.js. all right, and I want to access the file js file here, so I will say JavaScript, no, not really, object, right? Object in js.js, and here object. Okay, so to declare an object you have to say const, and then let's say any object, so I will say a car, let's say, and I want to say that car and then curly braces, and here I'll say car name, car underscore name, and I have to say like this. So the car name will be, let's say, any car name, so I'll say, and then I can say owner, so I can say owner like this, mask, or I can say Elon, let's say. Now let's say this one will be car1, and I want to declare one more constant, one more object, that is car2 is equal to car name, I'll say, let's say Toyota, and owner, let's say, I don't know, the owner. So the owner of Toyota, okay, let's go here and I will say Toyota owner. Okay, Kichiro, okay, Kichiro, okay, Kichiro. And one more thing, I have to give a semicolon also, so keep it in mind. And now let's say I want to access it. Okay, so I will remove it, and I want to show it in console, so I will say console dot log. Here I'm going to print it, so I will say car1 dot car name. If I say like this, here you can see Tesla, so I can actually access it, right? And I can say car1 dot owner. Here you can see Elon. So that's it. Now let's say I want to do it once again and copy it, and now let's go for car2, so I will say car2, and this one is also car2. Here you can see Toyota and Kichiro. All right, so this is how actually you can create object. And we have another way to create an object, and that is, let's say I want to say here const car3, so I'll say new object. All right, and this is the another way to create new object. You can say car3 dot car name, right? Okay, car underscore name is equal to, okay, so I can say Tesla 2, and here let's say car3 dot owner, let's say Elon 2. Okay, so if I want to say here console dot log, I can actually access them like car3 dot car name, comma car3 dot owner. All right, yeah, so these are two ways actually you can define or declare object in JavaScript. Okay, and you can actually access them. like this way. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to show you counting program in JavaScript. So for this I'm going to create a separate, individual JavaScript file. So that is counting.js, okay, or I can say actually counter, okay, counter program.js. So in the index.html, here I have to change the file name, and the file name will be counter program.js. And here let's say I want to create a label first, so I will say label, and I don't need for here, I will say only id, and let's say I want to say count level, okay, label, count level, and here I'm going to say 0. Now I want a button and I want to increase here, okay, increase, and here I want to set a class id increase, let's say, okay, increase btn, okay, or I can say it like this, underscore btn, and here I want another button to reset, so I will say here reset. And so actually I want to keep increase in the right side, so I will copy it, let me cut it from here, I want to paste it here, and I'm going to say here button, and here I'm going to say decrease, okay, and here I'm going to say id decrease underscore btn. For the reset button I will say id is equal to reset underscore btn, okay, reset button. And for count level I will say count underscore level. If I go here, you can see I have 0, decrease, reset, and increase. So actually I'm going to create here a br, sorry, I'm going to say here br, so to break the line actually, and I want to add some style, so I will say style here, and I'm going to say level, let's say I want to set the level, I can actually create here a div, okay, div, I don't need break here because div will actually work like this. Here I will set class div1, here I want another div, so I will say div, I want to cut it from here, tab, and I want to paste it. All right, and I want to set a class for this div is div2, so I will say here dot div1 text align center, and the div2 text align center. All right, now they are in center, and I can actually use here margin bottom 20 pixel, okay, and I want to set here padding, okay, padding of let's say 30 pixel. Okay, now I want to say dot div2 btn, I'm going to say color, not color actually, I'm going to say background color, and let's say blue or aqua, let's, okay, and not but btn actually, it will be button. All right, okay, so yeah, that's it. And I want to set here the style for this button, actually I'm going to say background color red, okay. All right, so we have reset, and I want to change the color also, text color, let's say white or aqua, what is this, a light blue, okay, no problem. And go here view and what, okay, so here you can see everything. All right, you can see this is not clickable, okay. So let's go for the JavaScript, and here counter program, I want to actually get access all the id at first, okay. So for the id, at first I'm going to create a const variable, and let's say the first variable will be this label, okay, label id count level, so I will say count level is equal to document dot get element by id. Here I'm going to say the id is what count level, right? Okay, count level, view word. Okay, and the next variable const, I want to say here the next one is, let's say, decrease button. So decrease button is equal to document dot get element by id, and here I'll say decrease button. Let's go for the another constant variable, and that is for the increase button. Okay, so I'll go here and I'll say increase button is equal to document dot get element by id. Here I'm going to say increase button. Okay, and all right, I need reset. Okay, I need a reset button, so I'll say here reset. Okay, I miss a reset button here. Okay, no problem. Let's go here and say increase. Actually, I want to set here. Okay, const variable reset button is equal to document dot get element by id. Here I'm going to say reset button. All right, so now I want to set here a variable count to actually do the count. So count will be actually start from 0, and here at first I'm going to say count level dot on click an event listener, right? Okay, so actually this is a mouse event. So on click is mouse event, right? If I click on it, it will actually work. So I will say on click is equal to function. I want to add a function here. When on click will, I mean when it will be a click. Okay, count level. Not really, I don't need count level because count level is this one. So I will say here no count level. I will say the decrease at first. Okay, so I will say decrease, decrease, decrease button. Okay, dot on click function, and here I want to say count minus minus. Okay, count, oops, minus minus, and here I want to say count, what is this? I want to say count level. Okay, dot text content. So this is called DOM, document object model. So text content is equal to count. So here I'm going to show it. I mean, if somebody click on reset the decrease button, this one, the count will actually decrease by 1. Okay, every single time, every single click, on click, every single click, the count will be decreased by 1. So 0 minus 1 is equal to 1, right? Okay, let me just comment out it. So 0 minus 1 is equal to 1. Every single time it will actually decrease by 1. So if I say decrease, and here you can see the result 347. Okay, now let's go for the reset. So I will say reset button dot on click event mouse event, this is called. Okay, on click mouse event is equal to, I want to add a function to it, and that is I want to set count is equal to 0. Why? Because when the reset button will be click, count will be 0. All right, and then I want to set count level text. So text content is equal to, I want to say count. That's it. And now let's say I want to decrease, and if I reset, and here you can see 0. Okay, now let's go for the increase button. So I will say increase button dot on click mouse event is equal to, I want to add a function for the functionality, and here I want to say count plus plus. Why? Because now this will be actually increased, so it will actually increase by 1, count plus plus. And then I want to set count level dot, I want to change the text, so text content is equal to current count. Okay, that's it. So our code is done. If I refresh it, so it will actually refresh automatically because we are in live server, right? Here you can see. So now let's say I want to increase, I want to decrease. Okay, I want to increase, decrease. So 10, and I want to decrease, so 9. I want to reset, so it's 0, right? I want to decrease, -3, reset, 0, decrease, -2, increase, 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so it's working, right? That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give a like and subscribe this channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about math object in JavaScript. Why we need math object to actually access some functionalities. So here I just have to say math dot let's say I want to know the pi value. Okay, I will say math dot pi, and if I say console log, so I will actually want to show it, I mean print it in the console. So I will say console log math.py. Here you can see the pi value 3.1416. We have a bunch of different math functions. So that is the reason actually we need to use math object. So let's say I have a value. So I will actually say here let, not left, let. Now let's say value, and I'm going to say here, let's say 5.7. If I say console.log a function, math function, and that is math dot a method, let's say I want to round this value, so I will say round, and here I'm going to say value. So here you can see 6. Why? Because now it's 5.7, so it's the point value is more than 5, so it will actually add +1 with it. So 5 plus 6, 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. If here 3, so it will not actually add any value, it will show 5. Here you can see 5. Console.log, I will show math dot, let's say cell. So the cell function is a little different from the round function. So cell will actually show you the top value after the nearest, okay, I mean the nearest integer. Let's say we have 5.3, so the cell will show me okay, we got more than 5, so it will show 6. Doesn't matter it is 5.3 or 5.7, the cell function will actually show the nearest top integer. So 5.3, the value, right? Now you can see it will show 6. Doesn't matter 5.3 or something else. And we have another function for the floor value. So if it is 5.7, doesn't matter, the floor will actually show the nearest, I mean the lowest value, not the nearest top value. Like if 5.7, it should show 6, right? But it will not show 6, it will show 5. So I'll say floor, math.floor, and here I need to say value, and here you can see 5. And we have another methods, like let's say I want to set here variable, let x is equal to 3 and let y is equal to 2. So if I say console.log, if I say math dot pow, so it will actually, I have to give here 2 parameter and then y, so it will actually show me 3 square value, so it's equal to 9. Okay, and here you can see 9. And then we have a square root function. So console.log, let's say I want to find out the square root, so I will say math object dot sqrt square root, and here I'm going to say, let's say x comma so I'll say any number. So let's say now x is 16, let's say. So square root of 16 will actually show me value, let's say not value, actually the value will be x, let's say. So it will actually show me 4. Yeah, so square root of 16 is 4, right? 4. So that's it. We have a bunch of different functions, okay, for this object, math object, so you can actually use them. if you need to access all those functions. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about if else statement in JavaScript. So if else is kind of condition. If you need to check any condition, that time actually you have to use if else. So how to use if else? So let's say I want to set a variable, let's say age is equal to, let's say 18. So now I'll check the age is greater than 18 plus, or age is 18 plus, or smaller than 18. So I will actually make condition. So I will say if age is greater than or equal 18. So we'll actually enter a clause and we'll say here console dot log. I'll say you can enter this site. And now let's say I have 18, let's say I have 25, and here you can see you can enter this site. But let's say I have 5, age is 5, and there is nothing. So we need else condition, right? Else console dot log will say you must be 18 plus, okay, to enter this site. Okay, so here you can see you must be 18 plus to enter this site. Now let's say 6, it will actually show me the same result. But let's say the age is smaller than 0, then what will happen? So we have to give here one more condition, and that is called else if. We can actually give here one more if condition, right? Then why we need else if? So you have to remember that if and else if are not same. I mean, when you say if, that time actually it will check, our code will check individually every single if statement. Let's say your if statement is fulfilled here. So when you will use else if, it will actually not go to the else if statement, because your if statement is complete. Your if statement is fulfilled here, right? So that time actually it will not count else if. But when you say if and then one more if, it will actually check both if. Although the condition is true, it will check the next if, and that is the main difference between else if and if. So we'll use here else if because our we actually want to check the condition, right? We want to check the condition according to the current value. So that is the reason actually we will use here else if. Okay, so now I will say here if else if age is let's say smaller than 0. Okay, I'll say console dot log. I can say you haven't born yet. Okay, you haven't born yet. Now let's say I want to say here -1. Okay, I can say okay, yeah, -1, let's say, and here you can see I haven't born yet. Okay, let's say I'll check one more condition, that is let's say I need then one more else if, right? Here I want to check if the age is equal to 0. So I will say console dot log you are a newborn, sorry, must be 18 plus. Okay, and now let's say I want to say here 0. Here you can see you are a newborn, sorry, must be 18 plus, right? So this is how actually you can write if else. So we have another way to do if else. Let's say I want to go here and I want to set one more variable, that is, let's say in student, let's say student is equal to, I want to say true. So I will say if student, then I will say console dot log, I'll say you are a student, you are a student. So here you can see you are a student. If I say here false, then it will show nothing because we haven't actually set else condition. So I will say else console dot log. I'll say oops, you are not a student. Here you can see you are not a student. So you can actually set here boolean value also. You can see that when I set other value, you have to give here equation, I mean expression, right? But here you can see you just have to mention the variable. Why? Because of this boolean value. So we have done it through console. Now let's go for the, I want to actually do it inside HTML. So go here, and at the top I am going to comment out it. Okay, and I'm going to say here that, all right, so I will say here h1 at first. I'm going to say enter your age. Okay, so I'll create input field, type will be text, and name will be age, ID, let's say my age. Okay, I need ID, right? Okay, so here I want to give a submit button, so I'll say button, I'll say submit. Here I need ID, so let's say my let's say here submit. Okay, submit age, let's say I want to use here a break. All right, so we have sub age here, right? Okay, now I'll go to the JS file. Okay, and here you can see so we actually have to say here I want to actually access the field value, right? So I'll say, should say here const. Okay, const, let's say this ID. Okay, submit age equal to document dot get element by ID, and the ID is this one. Okay, and the next one is my age. So I'll say const my age is equal to document dot get element by ID my age. All right, so here you can see we have age is 0. So actually I want to get the value. Okay, so I'm going to actually say it like this, age, and here now I'll check every single condition. So I will say if age is greater than 18, so I'll say okay, my age, right? My age dot value. All right, and I want to change the text here, so I need to say here one more paragraph. Okay, here I'm going to show something, so I'll say h2 or h3, let's say. I want to give here an ID. The ID will be my result. Okay, I want to know the result here, so I will say my result, my const my result, right? If I go here, you can see my result. Let me just copy it. Okay, let's say my result is equal to document dot get element by ID. Okay, and here I'm going to say, all right, so now I'm going to actually change. I don't want to actually show in console. Okay, so I will say here, okay, I want my result dot text content is equal to I'm going to actually say here backtick sign, so it's on the top of tab key from your keyboard from the very left side. So text content, and here I'm going to say this one, you can enter this site. Okay, Let's say here this, and I want to comment out it. I want to comment out them every single console. I made a mistake, bro. I should say like, okay, my submit, okay, submit is, so I'll say submit is dot on click. Okay, so on click is equal to function and like this, and I need to copy everything inside it, otherwise my button will not work. All right, now let's say I want to give her 125. If I submit, you can see you must be 18 plus to enter this site, and you can see we are already 18 plus, right? So basically it's taking the input as a string. Okay, because here you can see if I go to the index, here you can see it's text, right? So it's basically taking input as string, so I have to typecast it. So I have to say age is equal to number. We know how to typecast in JavaScript, so I just have to say age. I should check age here, right? I should change the type to number here. I mean, I should typecast here, then it will actually check every single condition, right? What the heck, man? Now let's say I want to set 125, and here you can see you can enter this site. Now it will actually work. If I say 0, here you can see it actually fulfill the condition. So yeah, you are a newborn, sorry, must be 18 plus. Now let's say 18, you can enter this site. Now let's say -1, submit, you haven't born yet. All right, so it's working, right? Big mistake. Okay, that's it. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give a like and subscribe this channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. In this video we are going to talk about a property that is called check. Check property basically used for checkbox and radio button. So here I'm going to take input and type, let's say, checkbox, and I want to give here ID. Let's say checkbox. Okay, and after that, here you can see I got a checkbox here. Okay, now I want to show here a level, so I'll say LABEL. I don't need for here. I want to say ID checkbox level underscore level. Okay, and here I'm going to say that, okay, student. Here you can see student, so student. I'm going to go for the radio button, so I will say input, type would be radio button. Here I need to say a common name because I need multiple radio button, let's say, so I need a common name for them. So I will say, let's say name. Okay, here I need ID. I'll say Yamin. Okay, and here I'm going to use here break. All right, so now you can see I have a radio button also here, so I'll copy it. Actually I'm going to say here one more level, so copy it and paste it here. Here I will say Yamin level. Okay, Yamin underscore level. Here I will say Yamin. And I want to create two more input, I mean radio button. Here the ID will be Tanvir, and here Wasi, and here I'm going to say Tanvir level and this one WASI level. So if I save it, here I'll say Tanvir, and here I'll say WASI. Okay, now you can see I can actually check only one. If I now let's go for the JavaScript. So we have to mention the JavaScript file here, check property.js, and we have sourced it. Okay, now let's go here, and actually I want to add here a submit button also. So I'll go here and I will add a button, and that would be submit, and ID will be submit. All right, now I need every single ID. So first one is checkbox. Go here, I'll say const checkbox is equal to document dot get element by ID. Here I'm going to say ID is checkbox, and I want the level also. So the level is checkbox level. I will say const checkbox level is equal to document dot get element by ID. Here I'm going to mention checkbox level, and now we need to know the submit button. So here I want to say const submit, right? Submit is equal to document dot get element by ID submit. Now I want to say submit dot on click is equal to function. Here I will check if, let's say it check the checkbox. Okay, so I'll say if checkbox dot checked. So this is the checked property. Here I'm going to say if checkbox checked, the property will actually say us something. So I'm going to actually add here, after button I will add one more. Let's say h3. I will add h3 or h2, and I want to give here ID h2, or let's say result. So I'll check here that if it is checked, so I will say result, right? Result dot text content is equal to, and here I want to use backtick sign. Here I'm going to say check level. Okay, so the check level is the value is student, right? So I will say you are a student, you are student. Else will say result dot text content is equal to backtick you are, oops, not checked. Okay, so I'll say result, I'll say backtick haven't checked. All right, so now if I say submit, you haven't checked. If I check student, submit, you are a student. Here you can see this is because of this property checked. So let's go for the radio button. Okay, so here I'm going to say if so the radio button is for what, this one. Okay, so actually I don't need the levels here. I will go for the yamin. Okay, and actually I don't need to, I don't need them, so let me just remove them. I don't need to know the level. Okay, all right. All right, now here I will say that okay, if yamin, okay, if yamin dot checked, I'll say result dot text content is equal to backtick you are yamin. So now if I say wasi submit, and here you can see you are wasi. So if I say submit, you are wasi. If I refresh, if I say submit, you haven't checked your name. Hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to talk about arrays in JavaScript. I'm going to actually create a new file here, and the file name will be arrays.js, and I want to add this JS file in the HTML file. So inside script source I will say arrays.js. So now if I go for the live server, all right, so this is our last program, right? So let me just comment out it. We don't need HTML file because we will show output in the console. So I'll go to the inspect option here and go for the console. So here is the console, and now I'm going to show you why we need array. So array is kind of, the meaning of array is collection, a data collection. Let's say if I want to set here a variable, let's say car1, I'll say Toyota. So what can you see that every single time I need a variable, right, separate variable to actually declare any car name, but I can do this in simple way, and that is array. So I'll define a function, a variable here, that is cars, and I'll declare array like this, and I will define variable values. So I'll set values here, and the value, let's say first one is Toyota. Oops, and paste here. If I say console.log, if I print cars, here you can see it's showing 4 values: Toyota, Tesla, Volvo, and BMW. So in a single variable I can actually store multiple car data. This is called array. We can actually define array in multiple ways. We have another ways to define array. So we can actually say like this, cars2 equal to, I can say like this. Here I will say Toyota at first, so I'll copy from here and I'll paste here. I can go to the new line, new line, new line. So I can actually define like this also. And one more way to do this, and here you can see if I console log it once again, and if I say cars2, here you can see the output. Okay, and if I say Toyota 1, Tesla 1, Volvo 1, and BMW 1, here you can see the output. Now let's go for the another way, and that is let I can say cars3 equal to new array. I'm going to say like this. And now if I say console.log, I'll say cars3. Here you can see same out. Already I forgot to say something here. This will be constant. Okay, for the single variable we will say let, but here we'll say constant. So I will say const. All right, now let's go for the car4. So I'll say constant cars4. So you can actually define the array like this, assign value to the array. So we know index start from 0, right, in the array. So I will say 0 index value. I will insert value now. I will say Toyota, and I will say cars4 index number 1 value is equal to, we know, Tesla, right, Tesla. And here cars4 index number 2 value is Volvo, and the final one cars4 index number will be 3, and here we'll say BMW. I can actually use here 4 so that you can understand well. Okay, so if I now print car4 here, let me print it. So I'll say console dot log, I'll say cars for. Here you can see the same output. So from the array actually you can find individual value through index number. How? Let's say for the cars we have 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, and this one is 3 index. So I want a third index value. Okay, so if I say console log cars, I want third index value only. Here you can see it will actually show me BMW. Okay, here you can see every car, and I want to know the third index value, and this is the value BMW. 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, and 3 index. So third index value is BMW. So you can actually push index, I mean you can actually insert value through index number, and you can actually fetch value through index number. So this is why actually array is important. You can actually show all the value from the array, or you can actually individually show every single index value. Okay, and so this is the array. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give a like and subscribe the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to talk about switch case. So what is switch case? So it's actually work like if else. Let's say I want to set here a variable, let the variable name, let's say day. If I say 1, and then I will say switch, and here I just have to mention the variable name, and now I will say case. I'll say case 1 console dot log Saturday. Okay, and I'll copy it. I'll say here Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, now you can see it's showing Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, every single day. So but here I have actually set the value the day only, so 2. So when I say day 2, so the switch value is now 2. So it will actually enter at first the case. Okay, the case, and here you can see the value 2. So the value will actually match with the case, that which value is matching with which case. So here you can see the day 2 value, okay, match with case 2. So here it's showing Sunday, but it actually not show Saturday. Here you can see it's showing all other days also, right? This is because we haven't actually used here break, so we have to use break. So what is break? Break is basically to break the code here. If any statement actually work, then you can actually break it. Okay, break the code here. So that is the reason actually we need to use break. So here you can see when I say break, it's showing me only case 2 because the value is matching with case 2, right? If I say 3 here, it will actually go for the case 3 because the value is matching with case 3, right? This case. So this case value is 3. That is the reason actually it's showing only this one, and break the code. Okay, it will not execute other case. Okay, but when you will not use break, it will execute rest of them. So when you use break, it will actually go for the case which is with the same value. Here you can see day 3, so it will actually go the case, this case, and it will match that value is 3. Okay, so it will actually go inside it and print Monday, and then it will break the code here, and it will go out the switch here. Okay, so this is how actually switch case work. And after that we have default one. If you want to use it, okay, then you can say console dot log. You can say 7 days in a week. 7 days in a week. When I'll say 8, it will go for the default one. Here you can see 7 days in a week. Okay, this one. So we have a default one also. So this is switch case. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. In this video, I'm going to talk about string methods in JavaScript. So let's say I want to define here a variable, let's say name, and I want to say here that okay, the name is, let's say, Yamin, and here I want to, let's say I want to find the length of the name variable, okay, this text, and I want to find out find the index number. So we know index number start from 0, right? So let's say I want to know third index value, and let's say I want to know the string length, and we can actually find them through some function, built-in function, and that is the reason actually we need string methods. Okay, so how to do this? Let's say I want to know the character. Okay, so I will say let char. Okay, I'll say I want to know the name dot char at function, and here I just have to mention the index number, let's say third index, and I want to console it, so I'll say console dot log. Here I want to mention the character. Okay, and here you can see 0 1 2 3 I, it will show I. Here you can see I. Okay, and if I say 0, it will show Y. Okay, so now let's say I want to find out the m index number, so I can actually do this. So I'll say let char equal to name dot, okay, I can actually define here a new variable char2, let's say. So name dot index of string method. Okay, index of is a string method, and here I will say okay, I want to know the m index. So okay, I have to say here m, and I want to console log once again so that I can print it, and I'll say char2. Here you can see 2, so 0 1 2, so the index of m is 2. Here you can see 2 because index start from 0. And we have a length function also in the string methods. Okay, so that is like, let's say I want to know the length. Okay, length is equal to name dot length. All right, and let's say I want to show it, console dot log. I'll say here length, and here you can see the length 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So don't compare length with index number. Okay, so length is if you want to find out any length from a string, you have to start from 1, right? You cannot start from 0. But when you think about index, you have to start from 0. Let's say I have Yamin MD here, and here it will actually count the space also. When you think about length, here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 and space 6, and then M7 and D8, and here you can see the value is 8. But it will not start from 0. Why? Because we are not finding this index number, we are finding the length. So length will start from 1. On the other hand, index will start from 0. So then we have other methods. I can actually access them. Let's say I want to find out let's say capital. Okay, here I'll say 2 upper case, and here I will mention the name, and oops, not like this, we have to say here the name. Okay, name dot 2 UPPR upper CAS, and then this sign, and here you can see all of them are in uppercase. Okay, Yamin MD. So you have to remember the function like this. Here you can see you have to write U as capital, and every single word the first character will be the capital one. Okay, here you can see if I think about upper separate word and case separate word, so from the upper U is capital, from the case C is capital. If you think about other method also, here you can see of O is capital here, and character at, for the at A is capital. Okay, that's it. And we have a lowercase method also. So I will say let small is equal to name dot to lowercase. So I have to say L O W R lower case like this, and let's say 1 2. print it once again, and I will say small. And here you can see everything is in lowercase. Now let's say I want to define one more variable here. Let's say a phone number, so I will say phone number, phone is equal to, let's say, I can say here, let's say plus 8801779800. So let's say I want to change something here. I want to actually change the plus sign. Okay, so I can actually replace them. So I'll say here let new phone, new underscore phone, I can say that phone dot replace all, and here I'll say I want to change the plus, okay, comma to what, let's say this sign. So now I want to say console dot log, I will say here new phone. Here you can see the plus icon is changed. So this is how actually you can replace also. So these are functions for the string methods. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Let's talk about logical operators in JavaScript. So what are logical operators? We have three logical operators, and those are AND, OR, not like this, or, and, not. So we have three logical operators. This is called AND, this is called OR, and this is called not. So let's give some examples so that you can understand well. Here let's say I want to set a variable, let's say age. So let's say I define a variable, okay, here age. And now I want to say that if age is in between 18 to, let's say, 21, so you can do this. So what can I say? I can say here that age is equal to, let's say, 19, and here I'll say if age is greater than or equal to 18, and I said 21, so I will say and this logical operator and, okay, and I will say age is smaller than or equal to 21. That time I mean the block will execute. So here I will say console dot log, I will say you can enter here, you can enter here. Now let's go for the console. So I will say inspect and go for the console, and here you can see you can enter here. And because actually I have said here, okay, let me comment out it. I'll say it will happen. Let's say now age is 25. Sorry, this is 21, right? Okay. Now let's say the age is 25. So it will not execute. Now I'll say here age comma age 2. Oops. So age is 25 and age 2 is, let's say, 26 is equal to, let's say, 26. Now I will say if age is equal to 18. All right. Okay, now I will say that if age is equal to 18, so I will say if age is equal to 18 and age is equal to 21, you can actually do this. So now you can see the logical AND operator is not actually working, but here you can see the age is equal to 18, so the left one is correct, I mean fulfill the requirement, but the right one is not. So the AND operator, when you think about AND operator, it means both conditions need to be true, the left one and the right one, the left one and the right one, both conditions need to be true when you will use AND operator. But if I say here that if age is equal to 18 or, so here you can see it will show here that you can enter here. Why? Because when you will use OR operator, it means if any of the argument is true, the result will be true. It means if the left one match with the argument, it will actually print. It will not wait for the right one, because the OR operator will find that if any of the argument is true. Okay, so this is the OR operator. But when you think about AND, both argument need to be true. And we have another operator, logical operator, and this is called NOT. So let's say I will say if age is not equal to, let's say 26, we will say console.log you can't enter here. And here you can see age, okay, age is not 26, age is 18, right? So it's showing that you cannot actually enter here. If I say if age is not equal to 18, you can see that it will not actually enter here, because age value is 18, right? So the not operator will make true to false and false to true. Here you can see the argument is true, right? But the not operator will make it false. That's it. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about while loop in JavaScript. Here you can see I have created while loop.js and I have sourced it in script, I mean in HTML file.html file, okay, so that I can actually run it. So I want to show you what is while loop. Let's say I want to print 1 to 100. So I can say let number is equal to 1 and I want to print from 100. So what can I say? Either I can actually console dot not close console dot log and I can say 100 times, okay, number, and then I have to set up one more variable, okay. So I need to set up 100 variable, right? Let's say I want to print from 1 to 100, so I have to set up 100 variables here, right? And I have to console.log, I mean I have to console it for 100 times, right? But I can actually do this using while loop, just single I mean 3 line of code, and then it will actually print me 100 number. So I'll say while and I'll say number is smaller than or equal to 100, and I want to say console.log the number, number, okay, and I need to increment it so that every single time number value change, okay. So I have to say plus plus. Right, here you can see from 1 to 100. So it's showing from 1 to 100, right? Just 3 line of code. So this is the reason actually we need to use loop, and while loop is the easiest one. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to write for loops. For loop, while loop, both concepts are same. It will actually easy your work. So now in this video, I'm going to show you how to write for loop. Okay, so here you can see I have created for loop.js, a file, JavaScript file, and I have to source it in HTML file, okay, through script tag. All right, now I will say here for, let's say I want to print from 1 to 100. So what I have to do, I have to say for, we need a variable at first. So I will say let the variable, and here I will say I. So I want to actually show from 1 to 100. So I will say I is equal to 1. I have assigned I value as 1, and then I will say I is smaller than or equal 100. Then I will increment it. Why? Because I need to increment the value to continue the loop. So now here I will say console, because I want to print in console. So I will say console.log. I will say I. And here you can see all the value, right? From 1 to 100. Name here, let's say I want to say const, let's say name, okay. And here I'm going to create an array, and let's name first name as Yamin, okay, the first value, and the second index value is, let's say, Tanvir. The third one is, let's say, Wasi. Now let's say I want to show them. So I will say console.name, and sorry, console.log, right? Here I will say names. You can see the array, full array. But let's say I want to show individual character, so I can actually use for loop. So I'll say for, so this is the another way to write for loop. I'll say let let's say x in name, okay, and I will say just console.log. Here I'm going to say, all right, I want name, but I'll give here x, and here you can see Yamin, Tanvir, Wasi. What will happen if I say name only? Here it will show 3 times. Here you can see the first one is this array, and these 3 are from this loop. Why? Because now x value is 3. X value is 3. Why x value is 3? Because here we have mentioned that, okay, we can see that 0 index, 1 index, and 2 index. So our array length is 3, right? I mean, we have 3 value in our array. So now x value will be 3. So it will actually run 3 times, and it will show every single time a full array value. Okay, that is the reason actually it's showing 3. But if I because of the arrays, I mean the x value is the index number, right? If I show you, you can see if I say x, here you can see the index number 0, 1, 2. So actually I can use it in the name. So I will say name x. So it will actually show me all the index value. Here you can see Yamin, Tanvir, and Wasi. Okay. First time the x value is, let me show you, the x value is 0. Okay. So it will actually show 0 index value. How? And the 0 index value is Yamin. And now second time x value is 1. So it will show Tanvir. And third time x value is 2, and it will show Wasi. And we have another way. Let's say I want to show them as, let's say I want to show them as, let's say let x in name. Not actually, here I'm going to say off. So we have 3 way. Okay, the normal for loop, then in, then off. So here I'm going to say console.log. I'll say here only x. It will show me all the value. Here you can see Yamin, Tanvir, and Wasi. So here when I use off, we haven't actually mentioned the index number also. Okay, when you use in, you have to mention index number to print all the value individually. But when you will use off, that time actually you don't need to say here index number. You can actually only mention the x value. I mean only mention the x. Okay, then the x value, all the index number value will be shown. Here you can see 0 index Yamin. The first index number 1 is Tanvir, and index number 2 is Wasi. So these are the ways actually you can write for loop. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you what is break and what is continue in JavaScript. So you can see I have printed from 1 to 100. Let's say I want to print from, I want to show from 1 to 5. So I will say here 5, and here you can see 1 to 5. But let's say I don't want to show 4. So what can I say? I'll say here that if, I'll set a condition. Okay, here I'm going to say that if I is equal to, I value is equal to 4, then I will say continue, not confirm, continue. Okay, so it will actually not show 4. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 5. Why? Because let me explain you. I value is 1, so it will check I is equal to 1 or not. No, so it will not enter this condition. It will print 1 as like 2 and 3 also. And now I value is 4. So the if condition is true, so it will actually enter here. And what continue means? It means that the loop, okay, it will actually go from here to the loop once again. It will not go to the next line. It will continue the loop. Okay, so the continue statement will actually continue the loop. So now it will not show the value 4, it will continue to the loop. And now for the increment, I value is now 5, right? So yeah, still it fulfill the condition, so it will enter here. Then now it will check I value is 5. No, then it will not enter this clause, and it will actually show 5. And that is the reason actually here you can see 1 2 3 but not 4, and then 5. But what about break? If I say break, now let me show you. If I say I is equal to I'll say I is equal to 3, I'll say break, and what will happen? And here when break means when the I value is 3, it will actually break the code here. So continue means it will continue the loop once again, okay. Oops. But break means it will actually break the loop, so it will go outside the loop, okay. So this is the main difference between continue and break. So I will understand, right? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about local and global variables. Here you can see I have created a file, JavaScript file, and I have imported in a HTML file through script tag. Okay, now let's go for it. And here I'm going to say some function. Let's say I want to declare some function. So I will say here function, let's say addition. All right. And here I will say print, not print actually, I will say console.log. Here I'm going to mention some variable. Let x is equal to 3 and let y is equal to 4. And here I'm going to say console.log. I'll say x plus y. All right, I'll say here this. So let's define some other function. Let's go for the subtractions. I will say subtraction, and here I want to say x minus y. And let me show you what will happen. Now let's go at the top, and here I want to call the addition. If I say addition, here you can see 7. Why? Because 3 plus 4 is 7. Now what about subtraction? If I say subtraction, you will find error. Here you can see error, and here you can see it's showing me that x is not defined, but here we define it, right? So why we are not getting value, x value and y value here? Because this x and y value is local variable. Okay, local variable. Oops. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, local variable. That is the reason actually we are not getting value here. This is why we are not getting value. Let's go to the view and whatever. Okay. And that is the reason actually we are not getting value. If we want to get the value, we have to set here one more local variable, and that is x is equal to, let's say 4, and let y is equal to 2. Then we'll find 2. Here you can see 2. But let's say I don't want to actually declare here, so we'll actually caught error. Now let's go for the global variable. So we need global variable. Here I'm going to say let x is equal to 4 and let y is equal to 2. It will show me 2 for the subtraction. So why the problem is because I have to declare them, define them before the function, right? Before the function I actually call. So I'll go here. Now it will not show error, it will show me 2. Why? Now my x and y value is global. Global value, global variable, okay? Variable. And the second one is also global variable. Global variable. Globe. Okay, global variable. But here you can see my x value is 4 and y value is 2, so it should be 6, right? Because 4 plus 2 is 6. But here you can see I define here local variable, so it will actually go with the local variable, and then it will actually count this x and y. Okay, but here you can see there is no x and y value, so it will actually go for the global variable. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how you can generate random password in JavaScript. Here you can see I have created JavaScript file .js, and I'm going to insert it in a script in HTML file. So I will say here the JavaScript file name, that is random password generator.js. All right, save. Now I don't need this HTML file. I will show everything in the console. So I will go to the inspect option here and go for the console. So this is the console. We need the console, and here I'm going to say at first password length, let's say. So I will say here const. Why const? Because I don't want to change here any value. When you don't need to change any value for the variable, you can actually define the variable as constant variable, because the constant value is static. You cannot actually change the value, right? So will not change here. So I'm going to set the value as constant, and here I'm going to say password. Okay, and I'm going to say length. So password length, I will say password underscore length. Length is equal to, let's say I want to make 12 length password. Okay, not more than 12. Here I'm going to say const one more variable, and that is for the let's say I will say boolean value. Let's say I want uppercase or lowercase value or not. So I will say lowercase. Why need lowercase and uppercase? It's random generated password, right? So it can be start with hash, it can be start with capital A, it can be start with small a. Okay, it can be start with capital alphabet, any alphabet, let's say A to Z. Okay, any alphabet. It can start with lowercase, it can start with the number, it can start with the symbol, right? So it can start with a white space, not really, maybe slash or maybe underscore, right? So we'll say everything here. So I will say const, I will say is lowercase, is pass lower case. You can actually give here any variable. I will say true for now. Yes, I want lowercase, and here I'm going to say const is pass upper. So this is not fixed variable. You can actually give here any variable. Okay, any variable name. So I just love to do it in nice way. So that is the reason actually, so that I can actually understand that, okay, so this variable is for this reason. Okay, so here I need one more const. So I'll say const, and I will say is a number. Okay, number. Then sorry, I will use password because it's password, right? So I'll say is pass number, and here I'm going to say yes, I want number also. So I will say true. Why I need true here, I will explain you. Don't worry, just be focused. Okay, be focused so that you can understand well. I will explain everything, no worry. Here after that I will say one more const variable, and it's is password, let's say symbol. Okay, symbol. Yes, I also want to add symbol also, so that password can be, strong password, right? And here now I need a function. So these will be my function parameter, and there is the reason actually I have mentioned everything here. Okay, so I need a function, and let's say I want to say here the function will be, let's say generate password. So I'll say generate and password. Here I'm going to give parenthesis and end it, and now I will say in the parenthesis I will actually pass all of them. Okay, because I need to actually pass them, and why I need to pass them I will explain everything, don't worry. Okay, let me just word wrap it so that it goes to the new line. I need cross the length. Now let's go here and give comma and add as parameter is number, and then is symbol. So we have 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, 5. All right, now let's go here, and for now I will say return let's say nothing. Okay, so I will say like this. Now I will actually call the function. I want to set here a constant variable. Okay, and let's say the variable will be password, and here I'm going to say password equal to, I want to call the function, so the function will be generate password, and here I need to pass the password length, pass lowercase, pass uppercase, everything. Okay, so I'll actually copy everything from here, because these variable actually I have actually mentioned them here. All right, now the function will call. Here you can see I have actually called the function, right? So now it will actually go here, password length, and then all the parameter will actually go here, and now we will do rest of the work. And that is, here I'm going to set some constant variable, and that is lower case chars or chars. Okay, here I'm going to set what are the lower value. So we know alphabet from 1 to A to G, right? So I have to say here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, W, X, Y, Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, okay, W, X, Y, Z, U, V. So we have U, V also. Okay, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So, and we have added everything. So now let's go for the next constant variable. So I will say const. I'll say, let me just increase it a little bit so that you can understand that, okay, this is actually a variable. Okay, constant variable. Here I'm going to say uppercase, right? U double P E R, upper case chars. Here I'm going to say capital A, B, C, D, E, F. Let's caps lock it. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. All right, now let's go for the number. So I will say const. Here I'm going to say number chars. Okay, chars, chars. Here I'm going to say, so what are the number character from let's say 0 to 9. Okay, so we actually don't need to actually add more than 9, because then we have 1, then 2. Okay, so 2 can be go at first, then 20. Okay, like this. So we can actually generate through math random function. So we'll actually our main work is with math.random function. Okay, so we'll show you everything, and I will explain everything later, and just focus on the video right now. It's just nothing but we have to just play with math.random function. Okay, so remember it. So here I'm going to say 0 to 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, now let's go for the character. So I will actually say here some random characters. I will say symbol character. Okay, symbol chars. So the symbol character can be like exclamation sign, dollar sign, hash sign, let's say @ sign, then this sign, then star sign, then it can be underscore, it can be minus, it can be plus, let's say it can be equal. Okay, all right, so not more than this. Let's say now I will actually say here let, I'll say allowed and chars. Here I'm going to make it null. Here you can see I've set let, and all of them are constant. So why constant? Because constant value cannot be changed. That is the reason we actually don't want to change them. But here I actually want to change it, because I will allow, I will add this variable into the random method. Okay, so that it can actually randomly changed. That is the reason actually I cannot make it constant, because if I make it constant, I cannot actually change the value, right? That's why I have to give here let, and then I define a character, variable, allowed character, and one more thing I need, and that is password. I'll say password. Okay, so this is a local password, and this is a global variable, so it will not actually conflict, so no problem. and now it will be null. Now let's go, and here I will do concatenation, and that is like allowed character, I will say plus equal. So it will actually do in the same line. So let me say something, that if I say plus plus, let's say I want to say console, okay, console dot log. If I want to show here x plus plus, let's say, and my x value is, let's say, 5 at first, let x is equal to 5, and here I actually say x plus plus, it will actually return me 5. It will actually return me what? 5. Why? Because it's a post increment, so it will actually in this line the value is 5, but it the value will be 6 in the next line, okay, next line. So if I say here plus plus x, now the value will be 6. Why? Now it is called pre-increment. So actually I'm going to do this here with the allowed character, that okay, my character should change in the same line. So I will say here like this concatenation sign with equal sign. So it will actually work like increment, I mean it will do pre-increment, okay, I mean it will add something in the same line. So here I'm going to say now I will actually add if else condition. So I can actually do if else condition using if else block, but I will not do this. I will add ternary sign like question mark, okay. So I'll explain you, no worry. And here I'm going to say that okay, allowed character plus, and here we are getting is lower, I mean is past lowercase, right? So I will copy it, and I will say here is past lowercase, I will question mark here, I will say if it is true, okay, because our is past lowercase value is true, right, boolean value. So I will say if it is true, then we'll actually say here that okay, lower our this case character, okay, lower character, otherwise we'll say null, okay. And then I mean we'll allow we'll add the allow character with null, I mean nothing, it will actually remain same. But if we have lower pass character, then it will actually add allowed character with lower pass. So what will be the value? All the value, okay, because it's null, so null plus all the value will be actually all the value, right? So allowed character value is now a b c d e f g h to z, all right. And here if it is not true, okay, then it will actually go for the false statement. So this is kind of if else, this is called ternary sign. Through this actually we can do if else, we don't need to actually write block wise, okay. So if not true, let's say here the value is false, then what will happen? It will actually add null with this allow character, so the character value will be null, okay, the output will be null. But if it is true, then output will be a to z, small letter, okay, because this is lowercase, here you can see lowercase. Now I will add allowed character once again if the if this is like uppercase. So I will say is pass uppercase, okay, question mark. If it is true, then go for constant uppercase character, okay. I'll copy it, or let's say just I will say here upper case cars, otherwise null. I hope you understand. So one more time, allow character, and here you can see this is why actually I have to say here late, because I want to change allow character value multiple times according to for the randomly generated password, okay. So I will say here is pass uppercase, and now is pass number. So I will copy it and I will paste it here, and I will add ternary sign, and here I'm going to say if it is true, then go for the constant number characters. Now add them with the with allow character, okay. So now think, the current value is what? Current value is now this one plus this one, all the character plus the number also, right? Okay, then I will say one more time, allowed characters plus equal is this parameter is pass symbol, right? So I will copy it and I will say is pass symbol. If it is true, then go for this constant variable, go add it. Okay, otherwise add null. So if it is true, then here now the final value will be small a to z and capital A to z, okay, and 0 to 9 and exclamation sign to equal. So it will actually make a huge number, right? So we will actually, now our value is everything, right? Now we will actually do we'll actually find out the random number through math function, math dot random. Okay, math dot random function. All right, now our math dot random function will use. Okay, so let me say you that now current allow character value is what, because everything is true here, right? So now current value of allowed character is all of these alphabet with all of this capital alphabet and all of this number and all of this symbol. Now our math dot random will actually make random password of 12 length using all of these characters. So let's go and do this. And now I'm going to say here for loop, okay, and here I'm going to say let I is equal to 0 and our password length is what, 12, right? So actually I'm not going to say here 12, I will actually say length, lengths, because I'm actually, okay, no, it's not length, it's password length. So I'm going to say here password length, okay, then I plus plus. All right, so here I'm going to say, okay, now I want I want to declare a variable here, and that is, let's say random index. Okay, random underscore index. Here I'm going to say, okay, now I will use math dot random function. So math dot random function, and here with the random function, okay, why I need a constant random index? Because I don't want to actually change the random index. Okay, why? Because okay, I will explain you, don't worry. And I have to actually declare here a variable. Why? Because I want to store the math dot random value. So the math dot random function will actually make a random value until 12th time. Okay, 12th time. So it will actually make random value through all those what can I say, characters. Okay, so I need to store in a variable, right? Store them in a variable, right? So yeah, that is the reason actually. And now I don't know actually the length of all the character, right? So I need to know the character of all the all the character length. So I'll say here into, I'll say here allowed characters, these allowed characters current length. Okay, I will say dot length function. All right, I'll say semicolon. Why? Because my math dot random will generate how many characters? Okay, how many times? 12 times, right? But it will actually multiply the length. Okay, so that it can actually randomly generate different password. That's actually I need to say what is the current length of my allowed character, because I have added all of them, right? All the characters. So I need to know the current length. I don't know you understand. I don't know you can understand or not. I'm sorry, but I'm trying my best. Like I'm trying my best, right? Okay, let's go. I'm hoping you understand. But I hope you will understand. Okay, let's complete the video at first. Okay, and I'm sure you will understand. So continue the video, please. So now our random value is inside a random index, but our loop will actually run 12 times. So this is first time. Okay, so here we'll actually get the first value, and when I will actually run the for loop once again, now for loop current value is 1, right? So it will actually run until the password length is complete. Okay, so that time actually we have to say, okay, now I need to know the password. I want to make the password. Here you can see I have a password variable, and this is currently null, so we need to actually fulfill it and we need to return it, because the function will actually return something, right? Here you can see return something, but we haven't actually written anything. So here I'm going to say, okay, go for the password, and I will add concatenation sign here plus equal, and here I'm going to add actually everything. So I will say, here I'm going to say allowed character, and then I will use random index number. Okay, random index. So it will actually add 12 time. So it will actually math.random will take different character and make a password of 12 character. Okay, because the loop will actually run 12 time. All right, so if I start it from 1, then I have to give here equal sign, because I have to run it 12 time, right? So I have start with 0, that is the reason. Okay, and here I have set is smaller than. Okay, no problem. So let's go and why we can actually give here I is equal to 0, because we know index number actually start from 0, right? So it's meaningful. Yeah, now let's go and check it. Okay, so we are actually concatenating the password. So password will be any random number. So at first, let's say it will actually start with Z, so it will go to the next time. Let me just comment out it. So it'll actually run the loop once again. So the value will be I. So yeah, I will be 1. So yeah, 1 is smaller than password, and is 12, right? So now it will go for another random generated number. So it will actually go for, let's say 0. Then it will go for, let's say, third time exclamation sign, then T, then random number, because math.random will actually generate random number for us. Okay, so here now and after completing the, what can I say, password length, let's say 12 length, so it will actually run 12 time. Okay, it will actually loop 12 time, and then password will be a big number of password, let's say 12 length of password. So it can be T exclamation sign $78 STP. Okay, any character, but combination of 12 character. So now we need to actually return the password. So here I'm going to say return password. All right, now it will actually return password. So I will actually go here and I have to console it, right? So I will say console.log. I haven't actually print the number, but I was waiting for it. So need to say console password. What is this? Undefined file. Named. What is this? Undefined. Okay. So I got the error. So here I have to go to the function where it is. Here. So I need to actually set here the floor value. Okay, so I will say math.floor, so that it actually return me an integer value. So I will go here and I will say like this. All right, and here you can see random generated password. Okay, so it will actually if I refresh once again, here you can see new password. If I refresh once again, new password. Refresh once again, new password. All right, I hope you understand, bro. Thank you so much for watching. If this video is helpful for you, please make sure to give a like and subscribe the channel for more videos like this. If you need this code, you can contact the social platform. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. In this video, we are going to talk about callback function in JavaScript. Here you can see I've created a JS file callback function, and I have imported in source file. In script. Okay, using source. Here, I'll go to W3 school, and here you can see we have function. So let me just copy it, and I will actually go to my code editor, and here callback function I will paste it. You have to say here console log. Okay, console.log. All right, here you can see hello goodbye. If I say my second at first, let me cut it from here, and I will actually go here, and here you can see goodbye will be the first one. Now let's talk about callback function. So what is callback function? Callback function is callback function will be act as an argument to another function. Let me show you some example. Let's say I want to only call this my first, and then goodbye will actually show here. I want to actually pass here as parameter callback. So it means when I will call this my first, okay, I will call my first. Here I'm going to pass a parameter. So it callbacks means I will actually pass a function as parameter. Okay, so this function will be the callback function for this my first function, because this will actually pass here as parameter. So here you can see when I call the function my first, I will actually pass my second as argument. So I will actually not do this. Okay, so this my so I will actually pass here my second as parameter. So I am passing the function as parameter. So now it's called callback function. Here I'm going to say callback. So this parameter, okay, callback, and here I'm going to say like this, and here you can see goodbye. Okay, now let's say I want to give another example so that you can understand well. So I will create a function once again. I mean define a function, and let's say I want to display only here, and here I will pass parameter, let's say any. Okay, and here I'm going to console dot log, I'll say any. Okay, and here I'm going to set, I mean define one more function, and the function is, let's say, addition. Here I'm going to pass two parameter for the addition. So let's say 5 and 6. So I will actually say x and y, and I will actually say here result. Okay, so I will say let result is equal to x plus y. Now I let's say I want to call the function, so I will say addition. Okay, but when I say addition, it will actually show me nothing. Why? Because I have print value in display function, so I need to actually call back the function display function. So here I need to pass another argument, and that is callback, so that I can understand that okay, here we have to pass a function as an argument. Okay, here I'm going to say okay, now callback, I'll say callback, and then here I'm going to actually pass, I mean I want to actually now call the function, okay, display function. So dummy text is here callback, so I will mention callback here. So I will pass the argument as result, so that this any will actually print here. Okay, then I have to now call the addition function, and here I have to pass two value 5, 2, and then comma, I will say the function. Here you can see we are expecting a function, right? So here I'm going to say display function, display. So now it will actually show me 7. Here you can see 7. What is happening here? At first I have defined a function that will actually display something, and then I have defined another function that will do addition, and here I will actually call back a function. So I passed a callback as parameter callback, and here addition. So and here I pass these three parameter, and I have set a variable result, local variable, okay, result, and here I have added them, I mean the first two parameter, and then the third one is function, right? Because it says that it's a callback, so we are expecting that we will actually pass a function as an argument. So here I call it callback, and then result. So the result is this result. Why? Because when I will call actually the display method function, okay, and then here the display function is also expecting an argument, right, to actually print something. So this result will actually we want to print. So here I'm going to pass this result as argument for this display, and here I will actually call the function addition. So I will call it, and then it's expecting three parameters. So the first one is first value, second one is second value, and then a function, and the function name is display we want to call. So this is called callback function. I hope you understand. Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to talk about for each. Let's say I want to declare an array. So I will say let let's say numbers, and here I'm going to print some number. Sorry, I'm going to store some number, so I'm going to say here some element, let's say, and then let's say 40. Now I'm going to write here for loop. So I will say for, and after that I will actually explain what is for each. So for the for loop I have to say let let's say I is equal to 0. Why? Because index number start from 0, and now I will say I smaller than let's say I want to go from the 0 index to the last index. So I don't know how many index actually here let's say it can have multiple values, right? So I have to say here length, so that I can actually find the exact length. So then increment, and here what I have to do, I have to say console.log, I'll say numbers, and then index number will be I. Here you can see all the value. Now let's talk about for each. So I will say numbers dot for each. So here you can see for each expecting a function. Okay, for each expecting a function, that is called callback function. Okay, so I need a function. So I don't know the function, I will actually define it, right? So I can actually say function, let's say I'll say my function. Okay, my function, my function, and I'm going to now declare the function. Okay, so function, I will say my function, and let's say I. Okay, and here I'll say console.log, then I will say I, and you can see it's showing all the value. Yeah, and we can actually do it in different way. And here you can see we can actually say here just function. Okay, let me just copy it. Okay, cut it from here, let's say cut, and here I will go and paste it. So I don't need the name, I just have to say like this. Here you can see same. So this is called anonymous function. So this is what for each is. I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about arrow function. Here you can see I have created arrow function.js. So now I will actually show at first the traditional function, and that is like function and then any function name, let's say my one, and then I want to actually show here, let's say I want to return, okay, any value, let's say. So I will say return let's say text, let's say here I'm going to say this is my one function, my one function, and I want to call the function. So what I have to do, I just have to say console dot log, because I want to show it in the console, and here I'm going to say my one function. All right, here you can see this is my one function. Now let's go for the arrow function. So here I'm going to say let's say I want to declare a variable constant, and here I'm going to say okay, the constant will be, let's say any, the name. Okay, and here I'm going to say the first parenthesis, and now I have to give the arrow sign, and here I'm going to say return something. So I have to use curly braces here, so I will say return, and here I'm going to say this is my any function. Okay, I will say this is any function, not my, I will say this is any function. And now I want to console log it once again, and here I'm going to say any. Okay, and what I have to say, I have to say like this, and here you can see this is any function. So this is the arrow function. Okay, and now let's say I want to pass parameter. So this is without parameter. Now let's go for with parameter. Okay, so here I'm going to say const. Okay, let's say I want to find out the addition, so I will go for addition. I will say, let's say now I need to pass two parameters, so I will say so x y is equal to this arrow sign, and then here I'm going to say curly braces, and here I'm going to return x plus y. So this is called with parameter arrow function. Okay, and now let's say I want to console it once again, console.log. Here I'm going to say addition, and here I need to pass two parameters, let's say 5 comma 2. Here you can see 7. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about map and filter methods in JavaScript. So map method create a new array by applying a given function to each element of the original array. So let me create an example here. I will say let numbers. Okay, and here I'm going to create an array. So I will say 2 3 4 5. Now let's say I want to create a new array where I will actually store all the value, but the value would be square of 2, square of 3, and rest of them also, right? Will follow the same rule, square value. Okay, I will actually store square value in a new array. If I want to do this, I just need to say here map function. So how? Let me show you. I will say let another variable, let's say new array. Okay, and here I'm going to say, or I can say here, let's say square value. Okay, square value of numbers, let's say square value, let's say is equal to, I will say numbers dot map function or method, whatever you say. Here I'm going to say, function. Okay, unknown function, and here I'm going to pass a parameter x. Here I'll just say return x square, right? So square, I'll console log it. So I'll say console dot log, here I'm going to say square value, and here you can see 4, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, and 5 square 25. And it is actually creating a array also, right? So the array length is 4. So map will actually create a new array by applying a given function. Okay, applying a given function to each element of the original array, I hope you understand. Now let's go for the filter method. So filter method will create a new array containing only elements that satisfying a specified condition. I mean, it doesn't change the original array. Okay, wait, let me give you an example. Here, let's say I want to set numbers, some numbers. Let's say I will say numbers number 2, let's say, or new numbers, let's say. Okay, new numbers, new underscore numbers, and here I'm going to set some number. So let's say 25, 24, okay, 45, 56, 5, 4, 33, let's say. So I'll say that, okay, I need new value. Okay, I'll say numbers dot filters. Okay, number dot filter, and here I'm going to say new function, and here I'm going to say x as parameter, and then go here, return me when x value is greater than 10. So it's a condition, right? And here I'm saying that, okay, I need a new array where I will actually keep all the value will be greater than 10. So filter will actually create a new array, and it will actually return according to a certain condition. Okay, so let's now console it to see what happened. Here I'm going to say new value. All right, here you can see, so I have to change here, right? So I have to say here new numbers. Let's say I'll say new numbers, and here you can see it's showing me an array which will actually containing the value is greater than 10. Here you can see every single value is greater than 10. It's actually not changing the original array, but it will actually create a new array, and it will create a new array with certain condition. Okay, here you can see the value should be greater than 10, and here you can see it remove 5 and 4 from this list, and it create a new array. And if I show you the original array, let me show you console.log the new numbers, right? New numbers. Here we will find everything. It will not remove anything. Okay, but when I say that filter, it will actually create a new array by itself, and it will actually add the value with using certain condition, right? Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about JavaScript DOM. So DOM means document object model. So what is it and why we actually should learn it? Here you can see how to change content of HTML element. To change the style, and here you can see events. If you click on a mouse, okay, if let's say here we have a method, right? DOM method. If I click here, what did we do? So it is actually a kind of mouse event, right? If you press something in keyboard, let's say Control plus A, then what will happen? I mean, with the help of DOM, you can actually select any element and actually do something with it. Let's say here you have what you will learn. So actually you can change the text through this. So I mean through DOM. Okay. So let's give some example. I will go here in the Visual Studio Code and I'll open the default browser. Now let's go and create a new file, JavaScript file. So I will say here JavaScript DOM underscore DOM. Okay. .js. And I'm going to import it inside index.html. So I will say JavaScript DOM. Now everything is done here. Now let's say I want to write here something. Yeah, let's say h1. Okay, I'll say change the text. Then what will happen if I go live? Here you can see we have changed the text. Now let's say really want to change the text. Then how can actually I do this? Say here that let's say I want to select here an ID. I mean give here an ID and I will say change. Okay, the ID name is change. So I will go to the JavaScript dom.js, my JavaScript file here, and here I'm going to say, let's say a variable. I will say const, let's say name, change text. Let's say, okay, or I can say text. Okay, is equal to, I will say document dot get element by ID. So this is DOM. Okay, so actually you can write DOM. So document dot get element by ID, and here I just have to mention the ID from this HTML file. And the ID is changed, right? So I will copy it and I will paste it here. Now I get the access of this ID, right? When I get access of this text, now let's say I want to change that text. So I say that text dot, I will say inner HTML is equal to, I will say changed, changed. And here you can see changed. So if I comment out it, here you can see change the text. If I remove the comment, here you can see the text is changed. So this is how you can actually change any text. You can change the text color also. So we have DOM methods documents. So what I write here is a DOM method, right? Because we have access the text at first through ID, right? And we have changed the inner HTML through text.innerHTML. Okay. So here we have documents, elements, and we can actually change CSS also. So I will say here text dot, I will say style dot color is equal to red color. I will say red. And here you can see color, text color is changed, right? We have some events also. Here you can see DOM events. Let's say here, if I click here, it will actually, say something. So, I mean, this is a mouse event, right? If we do something with mouse, then it will actually give us the output. Let's say I want to create here a button. And if I set it, I'm going to set here an ID. Let's say click me. Okay. And here, nothing, let's say, and I want to access it. So I will say const new variable. Okay. I'll say const click me here is equal to, I would say document dot get element by ID. Okay. And I need to get the ID. The ID is what? Click me, right? I'll say click me, paste it here, and I say dot. I'll use on click. Okay. So this is the on click. Here I will say a function, going to give it a function, and this is the function, and I want to actually add here one more text. So here I'm going to say, let's say h3, let's say clicked. Okay, so here I'm going to change the ID also. ID, I mean, I'm going to set here an ID, so I will set text. So this is the ID. Okay, so here I'm going to copy it, and I will go here and I will say, say here const text is equal to, I'll say document dot get element by ID. I'm going to paste the ID is here. So text, I'll say dot inner HTML, I'll say equal to clicked. Okay. Now if I click here, you can see clicked. So these are the use of DOM methods and everything. So I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to talk about synchronous and asynchronous JavaScript. I'm going to create a new file, synchronous. Here I'm going to source it, so I will say synchro.js. okay, now let's say I want to print something, so I will say console.log, and here I'm going to say, let's say test1, and I'm going to copy it, test2, 3, 4, 5. So now if I go to the browser, here you can see test1, test2. So this is called synchronous. So let's say I have some mistake here. Let's say a mistake, I will say logs. Then what will happen? It only print test1. From test2 they are not printed. Why? Because I have made a mistake here. So by default JavaScript is a synchronous program. It means if it is find any error, it will block the code, right? So that is the reason actually we need asynchronous. Let's say we have some problem, or let's say we want to implement an API, and that time actually that API can take time, let's say 3 seconds, 2 seconds or something like this. So we want that, okay, don't stop there, you can continue other program, okay, you can continue other task, and then when it will be complete, you can actually show it. Okay, so this is called asynchronous. So let's go for asynchronous program. So this is synchronous, right? So you can see that synchronous is problematic here, right? So let's go for asynchronous. Let's say I want to create some function, so I will say I will use arrow function. Okay, so I will say const let's say step test1, right? Test1. Here I'm going to say function. This is arrow function, right? So I will say console.log. Here I'm going to say test1. Okay, test1. I'm going to copy it, so it will be test2, it will be test3, it will be test4. All right, so if I mention here test1, here you can see test1. So I have run test1. Now let's say I want to run all of them. Let's say, so I will say test2, test3, test4. All right, and here you can see, okay, I have to change it. All right, so 3 and 4. Here you can see all of them are showing here, but let's say I want to go for a test2. Let's say I want to say here load data. Okay, and here I want to say loading, say loading data. Okay, and then I want to say here const test2. Okay, and okay, sorry, I have to give a equal sign and then arrow sign and then curly braces and stop it. Okay, now here I will say set timeout. Okay, and here I will call back a function. Okay, so I already talked about callback function. So let's say I want to call this function, so I have to pass this function as argument, right? So I don't need to mention here this sign, okay, because now I am passing the function as parameter, right? Callback function, and I want to show it after 2 seconds. So here, so now I will say test2. So here you can see I will say here test2 dot loading data. Okay, so that I can understand that, okay, this is test2. Here you can see test2. So here you can see I have print test1 first and then test2 second, right? Then test3 and test4. But here you can see it's showing test1, then test3, test4 and test2. After all the function is executed, then actually it's showing test2. So this is now asynchronous. It means the program will not stop here, and not it will not actually take time. It will go for the rest of the function and then it will actually show it. Okay, so this is the asynchronous program. So I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about JSON. So why we should use JSON and what it is. So JSON means JavaScript object notation. It's nothing but a data representation format. So it's commonly used for API. Let's say we have API, and from here actually we can actually know the weather information, and now I want to implement it. So let's say a guy build this weather implementation API using C++. Then what will happen? Let's say I am using Java and someone using JavaScript and someone using some other language. So what will happen? They cannot actually access it. I mean, the guy only using C++ can access it, right? But if it is about JSON, everyone can access it because it's a text-based format, right? So let's see how to write JSON. So here I'm going to create new file. I will say how to write JSON, okay, str_JSON. And here for the JSON file you have to give extension, okay, .json. At first you have to start a curly braces. In JSON we have different data types like string, null, object, array, boolean value. Let's say I want to store student information, so what can I say? I will say student 1, let's say, right? But here you can see it's error, it's showing error, and it's showing a suggestion. You have to use a double quotation. So if you think about the normal object, you don't need to actually give here any double quotation, right? So in JSON it called key, okay? So you have to use your key inside double quotation. Now let's say what you want to actually show here. So if it is object, you can actually write like this, curly braces. Now let's say you need multiple object, okay? Here let's say I have students, so I need 3 student information. So what will happen? I have to use multiple object, right? So for the object first one you have to use 1 curly braces, and for the second one you have to use comma and then another curly braces, then comma, then another curly braces for student 3. We have a multiple object, right? I mean under a single key, right? Students. So that time actually we have to use array also, because these all the object is under a single key, so I have to use here array. And first let's say student name, so I will say name. So I have to use double quotation every single time, name, then colon, and here I'm going to say unfilled, let's say. And here I'm going to say age, so I will use here age like this, and colon, and then age. So age is, let's say, 29. So I have to separate them through comma, right? Okay. Then let's say I can have different subject, okay, or result. So I will say here result, let's say. So I will say result. Now let's say I want an array to actually store all the value. So what can I say? I will give here array sign, okay? And then now here actually I want to show CGPA, okay, and then subject result also, and then status. So I have to use here object also, right? So I have to use like this, and here I'm going to say, let's say CGPA. So I have to use like this. I'll say 3.21, okay, comma, I'll say result status, okay, status. So it will be boolean, so I will say here true, it means you are passed. Okay, now let's go for the next student. So I will copy everything and I will go here and I will paste it, go here, paste it. So let's say Yamin. Okay, so this is how actually you can write JSON file. And now let's say want to print the JSON file. So how can actually you print it? Okay, so this is our JSON file. Now let's say I want to go to the HTML file here, and I'm going to show here something. So let me just comment out it. So I will go here and I will say that, okay, I want to show here in a script. Okay, so I'll go script here, and inside it I will say, let's say I want to set a variable. So I will say let student info, okay, info. Now I'm going to copy this JSON. So I will say copy, Control C, and then Control V. Then what will happen? Let me just show it in console. So I will say console.log, and here I'm going to actually show it. So the file, the variable name is what? Student info, right? So I will copy it and I'll paste it here. Now let's run it, go live. If I go to the inspect and console, okay, let me just remove it for now. and here you can see students array. So we have 3 students. The first one is Tanvir, so I can actually see the age, name and result also. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hello and welcome back. In our previous video we have talked about JSON and why we need JSON, right? And here I'm going to show you how to create a JSON file and how to show them. Okay, so here you can see json.js. I'm going to now rename it, and I'm going to say here I want to create a JSON file. So what I have to do, I have to use an extension that is called .json. Now this is a JSON file, and forget about everything, we will actually do this, no problem. And now we have a JSON file, right? Here you can see JSON file. So now how to start with JSON file, we already talked about it, and it is like this. You have to use curly braces, the opening and the closing one. Now let's say I want to declare object, okay, and let's say start with single object. So how to do this? We have to use here a key, okay? So the key, let's say I want to know the students, okay, and here I'm going to select object. So this students will be the key, and here I'm going to use object. So I will say the name, okay, is, we have to use double quotation and Tanvir. We have to separate through comma the next parameter, and here the next key value is age, key is age and key value is, let's say, 29. Let's talk about the second student. So we know to separate object we have to use comma, and then once again curly braces, and then I need a name, colon, I will say Yamin, comma, age, colon, 29. And now I need another object, so I will say comma object, so curly braces, and here the name, let's say Wasi, and comma, then age, we have to use double quotation, age, colon, let's say 30. So these are object, okay, for this key students. And now let's say I want to actually store them inside an array. So what can I say? I will cut it. I'll say array. Okay, let me show you some other example. Let's say I want to show the subject also. So what can I say? I'll say here comma, then I will go for the subject. So I need a key, right? Subject key, and here I'm going to say subject key, right? Okay, so here I'm going to say colon. Now I need array, right? So what can I say? Like this, and here we have to mention subject one, let's say. So I'll say subject one. So I can actually mention here let's say, what can I say? Let's say C++, and then comma, I can say Java, okay, no problem. So like other array, okay, you just have to mention key here. All right, now we can actually copy everything here and go comma, next line, you have to use comma, then next line. So this is actually, we can use array also. Now let's say inside array, okay, I have a different let's say subject related to actually let's say semester. So how can I actually do this? We actually can do this. Let's say I want a array, and inside array I need another object, okay. I have, let's say, semester wise subject. So I can say, okay, subject will be semester wise. So I have to use here these curly braces, right? After this can I say this third bracket. Now I have 3 semesters, so I will use them. I will use 3 bracket or object, okay. And to separate object we have to use comma, right? Okay, so here this will be for the first semester. So I will say semester, I'll say first. Then I will use subject. I need to say here double quotation. I will say subject, and I will use here, let's say C. So it's a string, so I have to use C. All right, so now I'll copy it, and I'll go here and I'll say semester second, and the subject will be C++. Let's go for the third semester. So I'll say third semester, right? Third semester, and this will be Java. All right, so here you can see I have first of all I have start with curly braces. Why? Because it's a JSON file, so it has to be start with curly braces, right? Or second bracket, and then I need a key. All right, so the key is student, and inside students I have, let's say, 3 students: Tanvir, Yamin, and Wasi. So I need to set 3 different objects for it. So I have to create object. We have to start with curly braces, and then name is name. Now let's say I have a subject, so I have to use here array, right? Because I have multiple subjects, C, C++, Java. So I can actually usually use a normal object like this. Here you can see, I mean, normal array like this, right? So I need an array name, and for JSON we have to use key, right? So the key value is subject, and I have 3 different subject, let's say. So I'll say C, so I have to use here C, and then I have to separate through comma. Because if you think about normal array, I will say const, okay, const subject, and then I will say like this: first C, right, then C++, then Java. All right, but here we just have to mention subject. We have to remove constant in JSON, okay, and we have to use only double quotation for the key, because in object, I mean in JSON, we have to call it key, and these are key value. That's it. We just have to go to the new line here, and we just have to remove this equal sign. We have to use colon. That's it. And we have used here like this. Here you can see. All right, I hope you understand. Now here I found that, okay, I have a semester wise subject, right? So I have to create another object. So object inside object, right? This object inside this student object, right? This is a separate object if you think about it. And here for the subject I need another object, right? So I have 3 different objects here. So I have to use opening and closing curly braces, and then like this. All right, and now let's copy it, and we have to close the third bracket because of the array. So it's an array, right? Yeah, and it's an object. So we have array inside object and object inside array, right? Okay, so it's a little bit confusing, I know, but if you rewatch the video, I hope you will understand. Okay, yeah, now let's copy it for the next subject. So I will copy it, and I'll go here, and I will paste it here. I'll paste it here also. All right, so this is actually, we can create a JSON file. We have to start with .json, and then we have to use we have to start with opening and closing curly braces. Okay, if I cut it here, you can see opening and closing curly braces, and then we need a key value for the object. And here you can see it's a key value students, and we need 3 different object for because we have 3 students, right? So the first one is Tanvir, the second one is Yamin, and the third one is Wasi. So we need to create 3 objects. That is the reason actually I have created here to I have created here a curly braces, opening and the closing one, and inside it we have name, age, and subject. Subject is an array, and inside array we have different objects, so we have to create object like this. So I forgot to actually mention here third bracket because these are multiple object, right, with a single key, so they need to be inside an array, right? So that is the reason actually we are getting error here. And now here you can see we haven't actually any error. If I have to use here is a single object, we don't need to actually mention mention here third bracket, the array. Why? Because if I say like this, let's say teacher, okay, I can actually say here like this. Oops, really? Okay, so then it will not actually show me error. Why? Because now it's in, okay, I just have to use here comma. That's it. Here you can see no error. but when you use multiple multiple object together under a key name, single common key name, you have to use it inside array, right? Yeah, that is the reason actually it's showing error, but now you can see it's solved, right? Okay, thank you so much. Hello and welcome back. In our previous video we have talked about JSON and why we need JSON, right? And here I'm going to show you how to create a JSON file and how to show them. Okay, so here you can see json.js. I'm going to now rename it, and I'm going to say here I want to create a JSON file. So what I have to do, I have to use an extension that is called .json. Now this is a JSON file, and forget about everything, we will actually do this, no problem. And now we have a JSON file, right? Here you can see JSON file. So now how to start with JSON file, we already talked about it, and it is like this. You have to use curly braces, the opening and the closing one. Now let's say I want to declare object, okay, and let's say start with single object. So how to do this? We have to use here a key, okay? So the key, let's say I want to know the students, okay, and here I'm going to select object. So this students will be the key, and here I'm going to use object. So I will say the name, okay, is, we have to use double quotation and done with. We have to separate through comma the next parameter, and here the next key value is age, key is age, and key value is, let's say, 29. Let's talk about the second student. So we know to separate object we have to use comma, and then once again curly braces, and then I need a name, colon, I will say Yamin, comma, age, colon, 29. And now I need another object, so I will say comma object, so curly braces, and here the name, let's say Wasi, and comma, then age, we have to use double quotation, age, colon, let's say 30. So these are object, okay, for this key students. And now let's say I want to actually store them inside an array. So what can I say? I will cut it, I'll say array, okay. Let me show you some other example. Let's say I want to show the subject also. So what can I say? I'll say here comma, then I will go for the subject. So I need a key, right? Subject key, and here I'm going to say subject key, right? Okay, so here I'm going to say colon. Now I need array, right? So what can I say? Like this, and here we have to mention subject one, let's say. So I'll say subject one. So I can actually mention here let's say, what can I say? Let's say C++, and then comma, I can say Java, okay, no problem. So like other array, okay, you just have to mention key here. All right, now we can actually copy everything here and go comma, next line, we have to use comma, then next line. So this is actually, we can use array also. Now let's say inside array, okay, I have a different let's say subject related to actually let's say semester. So how can I actually do this? We actually can do this. Let's say I want a array, and inside array I need another object, okay. I have, let's say semester wise subject, so I can say, okay, subject will be semester wise. So I have to use here these curly braces, right? After this can I say this third bracket. Now I have 3 semesters, so I will use them. I will use 3 bracket or object, okay. And to separate object we have to use comma, right? Okay, so here this will be for the first semester. So I will say semester, I'll say first. Then I will use subject. I need to say here double quotation. I will say subject and I'll use here, let's say C. So it's a string, so I have to use C. All right, so now I'll copy it, and I'll go here and I'll say semester second, and the subject will be C++. Let's go for the third semester, so I'll say third semester, right, third semester, and this will be Java. All right, so here you can see I have first of all I have start with curly braces. Why? Because it's a JSON file, so it has to be start with curly braces, right, or second bracket, and then I need a key. All right, so the key is student, and inside students I have, let's say, 3 students: Tanvir, Yamin, and Wasi. So I need to set 3 different objects for it. So I have to create object. Create object, we have to start with curly braces, and then name is. Now let's say I have a subject, so I have to use here array, right, because I have multiple subjects, C, C++, Java. So I can actually usually use a normal object like this. Here you can see, I mean, normal array like this, right? So I need an array name, and for JSON we have to use key, right? So the key value is subject, and I have 3 different subject, let's say. So I will say C, so I have to use here C, and then I have to separate through comma, because if you think about normal array, I will say const, okay, const subject, and then I will say like this, first C, right, then C++, then Java. All right, but here we just have to mention subject, we have to remove constant in JSON, okay, and we have to use only double quotation for the key, because in object, I mean in JSON, we have to call it key, and these are key value. That's it. We just have to go to the new line here, and we just have to remove this equal sign. We have to use colon. That's it. And we have used here like this. Here you can see. All right, I hope you understand. Now here I found that, okay, I have a semester wise subject, right? So I have to create another object. So object inside object, right? This object inside this student object, right? This is a separate object if you think about it. And here for the subject I need another object, right? So I have 3 different objects here, so I have to use opening and closing curly braces, and then like this. All right, and now let's copy it, and we have to close the third bracket because of the array. So it's an array, right? Yeah, and it's an object, so we have array inside object and object inside array, right? Okay, so it's a little bit confusing, I know, but if you rewatch the video, I hope you will understand. Okay, yeah, now let's copy it for the next subject. So I will copy it, and I'll go here and I will paste it here. I'll paste it here also. All right, so this is actually, we can create a JSON file. We have to start with .json, and then we have to use we have to start with opening and closing curly braces. Okay, if I cut it here, you can see opening and closing curly braces, and then we need a key value for the object, and here you can see it's a key value students, and we need 3 different object for because we have 3 students, right? So the first one is Tanvir, the second one is Yamin, and the third one is Wasi. So we need to create 3 objects. That is the reason actually I have created here to I have created here a curly braces, opening and the closing one, and inside it we have name, age, and subject. Subject is an array, and inside array we have different objects, so we have to create object like this. So I forgot to actually mention here third bracket, because these are multiple object, right, with a single key, so they need to be inside an array, right? So that is the reason actually we are getting error here. And now here you can see we haven't actually any error. If I have to use here is a single object, we don't need to actually mention mention here third bracket, the array. Why? Because if I say like this, let's say teacher, okay, I can actually say here like this. Oops, really? Okay, So then it will not actually show me error. Why? Because now it's in, okay, I just have to use here comma, that's it. Here you can see no error. But when you use multiple multiple object together under a key name, single, common key name, you have to use it inside array, right? Yeah, that is the reason actually it's showing error, but now you can see it's solved, right? Okay, thank you so much.